When was the last time you truly gazed into the mirror, meeting your own eyes, and posed the question, am I truly living the life I want? Not the life prescribed by others, not the one deemed acceptable by society's gaze, but the life that deeply resonates with your soul's truest song. Carl Jung, a titan of modern psychological thought, gifted us a lesson few dare to embrace: the profound importance of choosing yourself, even when the currents of the world seem determined to sweep you in another direction. We exist within a world meticulously crafted to divert our attention, to ensnare us in the predictable rhythms of routines, expectations, and an unending stream of obligations that feel inescapably binding. From the moment the alarm clock shatters the morning stillness, you're met with a barrage of external demands: work, familial duties, societal norms, all dictating how you should act, what you should relentlessly pursue, and even what the very definition of success should embody. But here lies a truth many stubbornly refuse to acknowledge: each time you elevate the needs of others above your own, you're silently communicating to your inner self that it lacks importance, that its desires, needs, and truths are of secondary concern. You are, in essence, ignoring that quiet, persistent voice that emanates from the depths of your subconscious, the one that tirelessly attempts to guide you toward a more authentic and deeply fulfilling existence. Jung profoundly believed that our connection with the unconscious isn't merely optional, it's an indispensable facet of who we are at our core. Yet, countless individuals silence it, push it aside, and choose to disregard its subtle signals because confronting it can stir feelings of unease. That nagging feeling, that sense of something being amiss in your life, that's not random chance. That is your soul reaching out, endeavoring to show you that something requires change, even if the mere thought of change fills you with a primal terror. Now, pause for a moment and reflect: how many of the decisions you've made in recent times arose from a place of genuine authenticity, and how many were fueled by fear of disappointing those around you, fear of venturing beyond the established norms, fear of discomfort, or the fear of breaking free from the familiar embrace of the known? Jung urges us to deeply contemplate this truth because he understood a universal principle: decisions that lack roots in your inner truth create nothing but chaos and profound disconnection. The further you drift from yourself, the more profoundly lost you will inevitably feel. But let's clarify a crucial point: choosing yourself doesn't equate to rejecting others. This isn't a justification for self-centeredness or a disregard for the people who share your life. It's about acknowledging that to offer the best version of yourself to the world, you must first cultivate inner peace within yourself. This embodies the fundamental principle of self-love, a concept Jung explored with profound depth. Self-love isn't a mere luxury, it isn't an excuse to shirk responsibilities. It is the very bedrock upon which all meaningful and authentic relationships are built. When you choose to prioritize yourself, a profound shift occurs within your very energy. You begin to draw in people and circumstances that resonate with your authentic essence. It's as if the universe responds to your conscious decision to live in truth, dissolving what no longer nourishes your growth and ushering in what you truly need to flourish. But to attain this state, you must first confront your shadows, those aspects of yourself that you've ignored, suppressed, or feared. Jung described the shadow as the hidden dimension of our psyche, the repository of everything we'd rather not acknowledge about ourselves. While facing your shadow can be unsettling, it is within this very confrontation that genuine transformation commences. Because when you integrate your shadows, when you cease the battle against them and embrace them as part of yourself, you unlock an inner reservoir of power you never knew existed. This integration is not an overnight process. It demands courage, unwavering patience, and an unyielding commitment to self-understanding. But what you gain in return is priceless clarity, the ability to perceive beyond the illusions you once held as truth, purpose, a revitalized sense of direction and meaning in your life's journey, inner peace, a tranquility so profound that no external chaos can disrupt its serenity. You gain the power to say no to what doesn't align with your truth without guilt, without fear, and without agonizing over the judgment of others. But most importantly, you gain the freedom to be authentically who you truly are. You might be wondering, how do I begin this journey? The answer is more straightforward than you might imagine. Start by attentively listening to yourself. Every time you experience discomfort, uncertainty, or a surge of emotion, pause and ask yourself, what is my unconscious trying to communicate to me? Because, as Jung once wisely stated, the answers you seek externally already reside within you. You simply require the courage to listen intently and the unwavering determination to act accordingly. One of the most challenging endeavors in life is to heed our intuition, particularly when it leads us down a path that challenges everything we've painstakingly built. Perhaps it's a relationship you instinctively know is no longer serving you. Maybe it's a career that drains your spirit but feels impossible to abandon. Or perhaps it's a dream you've been chasing solely because it seemed like the right thing to pursue. Jung reminds us that ignoring these internal signals isn't a testament to strength, it's a denial of our authentic essence. To choose yourself is to possess the courage to release what no longer resonates with your soul, and that's not always an easy feat. We cling to the familiar because change is inherently terrifying. We convince ourselves that better the devil you know than the one you don't. But Jung challenges us to view change not as an ending, but as a doorway, a passage leading to a more authentic and empowered version of ourselves. So, contemplate this. What are you holding onto that no longer nourishes your spirit? What relationships, beliefs, or ingrained habits are you clinging to out of fear? You might perceive that letting go of certain people or situations would constitute a significant loss, but the true loss occurs when you sacrifice your inner peace. Here we go to cling to something devoid of meaning. The choice always rests with you, and perhaps the pivotal question to ponder right now is, am I ready to truly choose myself? Choosing yourself isn't selfishness, it's a profound act of love and deep respect for your authentic self. Society has, for too long, taught us that prioritizing ourselves is wrong, that placing our needs first somehow betrays those around us. But the truth is quite the opposite. When you consciously decide to choose yourself, something truly magical begins to unfold. It's like a fog lifts, clearing your vision, and for the first time in what feels like forever, you see things with startling clarity. Those who genuinely support you remain steadfast, while those who drained your energy, those who never truly valued you, begin to fade away. This isn't coincidence, it's a direct reflection of an internal transformation, an alignment between your inner world and your external reality. Carl Jung termed the synchronicity mysterious yet undeniable connection between your thoughts, emotions, and the unfolding circumstances of your life. As you start living in alignment with your truth, your external world shifts to mirror that transformation. It's as if the universe responds to your authenticity by reshaping your environment to match it. However, this process demands something many find difficult: radical honesty with yourself. Choosing yourself isn't just about making bold decisions or setting firm boundaries. Sometimes it means acknowledging uncomfortable truths about your past. Perhaps you've made choices that didn't truly reflect who you are. Maybe you've allowed people to overstep your boundaries, sacrificing your own well-being to please them. You might have said yes to things you knew you should have rejected out of fear of disappointing others. But here's the crucial part: this isn't a reason for self-judgment. Instead, it's an opportunity, an invitation to learn, recalibrate, and make a different choice moving forward. But Jung believed that authenticity isn't a destination, it's a continuous journey. It's a process of learning, evolving, and growing into the truest version of yourself. And on this path, you'll face resistance. There will be moments when you doubt yourself, when old habits beckon, tempting you to return to familiar patterns simply because they feel comfortable. But remember, this true growth never happens within your comfort zone. The most profound transformations occur when you dare to step beyond the familiar into the unknown. The world won't always understand your decision to choose yourself. Some will criticize you, question your choices, even distance themselves because you no longer fit their expectations. And yes, this can be painful, because when you choose yourself, you stop seeking external validation. You begin to realize that your worth isn't defined by what others think of you, but by what you believe about yourself. This doesn't mean isolating yourself or disconnecting from those around you. Quite the contrary, when you choose yourself, your relationships evolve in ways you never imagined. You no longer chase approval, you seek genuine connection. You no longer settle for shallow interactions, you crave relationships that nourish your soul. And in this process, you discover something beautiful. The right people will always be there, not because they need you, but because they value you exactly as you are. As you begin to live from a place of authenticity, the world around you transforms. This isn't magic, nor is it some trick. It's the powerful interplay between your inner and outer worlds. Carl Jung often spoke about how our psyche projects our inner state onto the external world. If you live in internal conflict, you'll attract external conflict. If you reject yourself, you'll encounter rejection in various forms. But if you choose yourself, if you fully accept and embrace who you are, you'll begin to see how the people and circumstances around you also start to shift. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, and like any process, it requires patience and commitment. There will be days when you feel like you're taking steps backward, moments when your old tendencies try to resurface. But this is where the real test lies: your ability to stay firm in your decision to choose yourself, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when it feels lonely. The world glorifies sacrifice, but at what cost? Not everyone will support your choice to prioritize yourself. We live in a world that glorifies sacrifice, where giving everything to others, even at the expense of our own well-being, is seen as noble. But what happens when we pour from an empty cup? What happens when we give so much that we lose ourselves in the process? Choosing yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. Because only when you're whole, when you're aligned with your truth, can you truly give to others from a place of abundance rather than depletion. So, dare to choose yourself, not just once, but every day, not just in the big moments, but in the smallest of decisions. And watch as your life begins to transform in ways you never imagined. But Jung taught us something profoundly important: we cannot give what we do not possess. If you sacrifice your happiness, your energy, or your inner peace in an attempt to please others, then what you're offering isn't authentic, and sooner or later, that imbalance will manifest itself in your life, whether through emotional exhaustion, dissatisfaction, or even a sense of emptiness. Take a moment to reflect on your current relationships. How many of them inspire you, uplift you, and bring you peace? And how many leave you feeling utterly spent, clouded in confusion, or emotionally drained? Jung urges us to reflect deeply on this because our relationships are far more than mere social interactions. They serve as mirrors, reflecting our inner landscape. The individuals we choose to hold close are echoes of the beliefs, values, and emotional patterns that reside within us. If you find yourself consistently allowing someone to overstep your boundaries, it's not necessarily because they are inherently bad, but rather because a part of you hasn't yet learned the vital skill of self-protection. Establishing boundaries isn't an act of selfishness, it's a profound act of self-love. Jung believed that the unconscious mind is perpetually working to steer us toward our well-being, yet more often than not, we disregard its subtle signals. That distinct sense of exhaustion you experience after interacting with certain individuals isn't a random occurrence. It's your unconscious communicating that the relationship is out of alignment with your true essence. And if you persistently ignore these crucial signals, the price you will invariably pay is your inner peace. Choosing yourself means setting boundaries not as impenetrable walls that shut people out, but as sturdy bridges that lead to healthier and more authentic relationships. When you confidently say no to what doesn't serve you, you are simultaneously and powerfully saying yes to your truth, your dreams, and your overall well-being. This doesn't imply severing ties with everyone, but rather cultivating an honest awareness of which relationships truly nourish you and which ones leave you depleted. As you begin to live from this place of profound authenticity, something truly extraordinary unfolds. Your intuition strengthens and sharpens. That inner voice, which once seemed faint or uncertain, starts guiding you with remarkable clarity. You begin making choices that not only make logical sense but also resonate deeply within your soul. This is the transformative power of choosing yourself. It reconnects you with your intuition, with that unwavering inner compass that has always been there, patiently waiting for you to trust its guidance. Jung described intuition as one of the purest forms of connection with the unconscious realm. It's that inexplicable knowing, that visceral feeling in your gut when something inherently feels right or profoundly wrong. But to truly hear it, you must diligently silence the cacophony of the outside world. This means letting go of the incessant need for external approval, detaching from limiting societal expectations, and learning to wholeheartedly trust yourself. Because at the end of the day, no one else can truly know what is ultimately best for you. When you make the resolute decision to choose yourself, you are sending a potent message to the universe. Am I ready to live in complete alignment with my truth? And the universe unfailingly responds. Suddenly, you begin to attract people, opportunities, and experiences that resonate deeply with who you truly are. This doesn't mean that life will be devoid of challenges, but those challenges will no longer feel like an endless and exhausting struggle. Instead, they will transform into stepping stones, opportunities for profound growth, personal transformation, and profound self-discovery. By choosing to live in unwavering authenticity, you also begin to experience something Jung described as synchronicity. These seemingly random yet perfectly timed events that gracefully unfold in your life are not mere coincidences. They are a direct and beautiful reflection of your inner alignment. When you are in harmonious alignment with yourself, the external world starts aligning with you as well. Doors open effortlessly. The right people serendipitously come into your life at precisely the right moment, and everything begins to flow in ways that once seemed utterly impossible. This is the inherent beauty of embracing your true self. When you deeply honor your inner world, the external world responds in kind. And in that sacred space of deep alignment, you will discover not only a heightened sense of profound fulfillment, but also a profound sense of inner peace, the kind that emanates from knowing you are exactly where you are meant to be. When you choose yourself and decide to honor your truth, the universe seems to conspire in your favor. The right opportunities arrive effortlessly, the right people appear at the perfect moment, and everything begins to flow in a way that once seemed impossible. It is as if the entire fabric of existence shifts to align with your newfound sense of purpose. Suddenly, what once felt out of reach is now within your grasp. But this does not mean that the path will be free of obstacles. In fact, some of the greatest challenges arise precisely when you decide to choose yourself. It is as if the world, so accustomed to the version of you that aimed to please everyone else, suddenly resists your transformation and tries to test your commitment. You might feel the weight of external expectations pushing against you, trying to pull you back into old patterns. The doubts will come, the fears will surface, and the temptation to return to what is familiar will be strong. This is where your true power lies. Every time you reaffirm your decision, every time you prioritize your inner peace over external demands, you are strengthening the connection with your true self. The key is to remain steadfast, even when uncertainty creeps in. It is completely natural to feel fear when leaving behind the known, even if you are aware that it no longer serves you. But remember this: every time you choose to stay in a place that no longer brings you joy, you are closing the door to something that could profoundly transform you. The great psychologist Carl Jung taught us that change does not occur without resistance, but that resistance is not a sign that you are making a mistake. Rather, it is proof that you are moving forward. It is the friction between the old and the new, the tension between who you were and who you are becoming. One of the most powerful ways to overcome this resistance is through deep self-reflection. Ask yourself, what do I truly value? What is most important to me? What kind of life do I want to build? When you gain clarity about your values and goals, it becomes significantly easier to make decisions. Building on that clarity, you start drawing in people and situations that vibe with your energy. The world around you subtly transforms, mirroring your inner state. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. Choosing yourself might initially feel like a solo act, but it's actually paving the way for kindred spirits, those who champion you, celebrate you, and walk alongside you. These folks won't demand you morph to fit their mold. They'll embrace you as you are, because they've also chosen to live authentically. When you reach this point, something profound shifts within you. Life ceases to feel like a relentless uphill battle. Decisions that once felt overwhelming now come with a newfound clarity and confidence. And most importantly, you discover a sense of peace that isn't contingent on external factors. Because as Carl Jung taught us, true peace originates from within. That inner peace is the natural consequence of honoring your needs, respecting your boundaries, and living in complete alignment with your values. But it's more than just a personal reward, it's something you radiate outward. When you live authentically, you inspire others to do the same. Your courage becomes a beacon, guiding those still searching for their own path. And in doing so, you don't just transform your own existence, you create a ripple effect that deeply touches those around you. Take a moment to envision a life where you've shed everything that no longer serves you. How would it feel to release the relationships that drain you, the commitments that don't resonate with your soul, and the expectations you never truly desired to fulfill? Picture the freedom, the lightness, and the crystal clear perspective you could experience. This isn't some unattainable fantasy, it's a very real possibility, fully within your grasp. All it requires is the willingness to choose yourself, to put yourself first. When you make this choice, you realize you're not losing anything by letting go of what doesn't align with you. On the contrary, you're creating space for what truly matters. You're crafting a life that not only makes sense, but also fills you with purpose and joy. And that, in itself, is a transformation worth embracing. This is the gift that Carl Jung wanted all of us to discover, the profound realization that true transformation begins the moment we stop searching outside ourselves for something that has always been within. It's the moment we choose to live from a place of authenticity, embracing who we truly are rather than who we were conditioned to be. And when this happens, something extraordinary unfolds. You begin to feel truly alive. No longer are you trapped by the expectations of others, nor do you feel bound by the rigid demands of a society that constantly dictates who you should be, how you should behave, and what defines success. Instead, you start tuning in to that inner voice, the one that has always been there, whispering to you, urging you to look deeper, to recognize that something greater awaits if only you have the courage to pursue it. This feeling of liberation is priceless. It's as if a heavy weight has been lifted from your shoulders, allowing you to breathe fully, deeply, freely, perhaps for the first time in a very long while. However, attaining this freedom requires great courage. It demands that you confront not only the external pressures that have shaped your life, but also the internal fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs that have held you back. But Jung reminded us that our greatest enemy isn't something external, it's within. It's that persistent inner voice that whispers, what if am I not good enough? What if am I fail? What if am I disappoint others? But here lies the truth. The secret that so many never realize: that voice isn't your truth. It's merely an echo of past experiences, a reflection of conditioning that you have absorbed over the course of your life. Every time you choose to confront it, every time you act in spite of the fear, you are dismantling those limiting beliefs piece by piece, clearing space for something new to emerge. This is the true power of choosing yourself. When you make this choice, you break free from the invisible chains that have kept you bound. As you walk further down this path, something remarkable begins to happen. The things that once seemed so important, the endless chase for validation, the need to prove your worth, the compulsion to please others begin to lose their grip on you. You no longer feel the urge to compete, to compare, or to conform. Instead, you discover a profound sense of fulfillment in simply being yourself. And it's in this state of authenticity that you uncover your true power. This power has nothing to do with control over others, nor is it about dominance or force. It's a power that comes from a deep connection with your inner being, that part of you that has always known who you are and what you need. It's a silent, unwavering force, yet it is unstoppable. Because when you are aligned with yourself, when you stand in your truth, nothing and no one can take you off your path. The beauty of this process is that it doesn't only transform your life, it transforms the lives of those around you. When you choose yourself, you become a living example of what it means to be authentic. You inspire others not by preaching, not by convincing, but simply by being. Your presence alone encourages others to question their own beliefs, to challenge their own fears, and to step into their own truth. This is something Carl Jung understood deeply. He knew that individual transformation has a ripple effect, that every time a person chooses authenticity, they contribute to a collective shift in consciousness. Because when we live from our true selves, our relationships change, our communities change, even the world itself begins to change. But do not be mistaken, this journey is not linear. There will be days when you feel strong, empowered, and completely in tune with yourself. And then there will be days when doubt creeps in, when uncertainty clouds your vision, when you question everything. These moments of doubt are not signs of failure, they are an integral part of the process. But Jung saw them as opportunities to deepen your connection with yourself, to reflect, to learn, and to grow. Each challenge, each setback, is an invitation to shed the old, to step into something greater, to move closer to your true essence. And in those moments when the path feels uncertain, it is essential to remember this: you are not alone. Although the journey toward authenticity may seem solitary at first, you will inevitably find people, experiences, and resources that support you along the way. The more you embrace who you truly are, the more aligned you become with those who resonate with your energy. And when that happens, the journey no longer feels like a struggle, it becomes a homecoming. Perhaps a book, a conversation, or even a video like this one reaches you at the exact moment you need it most. These are not mere coincidences, they are signs, signals from the universe that confirm you are on the right path. Every moment, every decision, every challenge you have overcome has led you here, to this very instant. And though the future may seem uncertain, there is one undeniable truth: as long as you continue to choose yourself, you will be building a life that is truly worth living. The greatest gift you can give yourself is to be unapologetically you, not the version of yourself that others expect, nor the one you have created just to fit in, but your purest essence, the real you that exists when no one else is watching. Carl Jung once revealed that the true work of life does not lie in searching outside of ourselves, but in unraveling the deep mysteries that reside within. And when you finally make the conscious choice to embrace yourself, you come to a profound realization: everything you are searching for has always been within you. This is a call to action. Life is far too short to remain trapped in the need for external validation, to ignore your own desires, to silence your dreams in order to meet the expectations of others. The time to take the first step is now. The time to confront your fears, to acknowledge your shadows, and to listen to the quiet whispers of your intuition is today. The moment to reconnect with your true self is right in front of you. Because when you choose yourself, you do more than transform your own life, you also change the world around you. Your energy shifts, your perspective expands, and your very presence begins to inspire those who cross your path. And now, what comes next? This is the moment to reflect on everything you have just heard. Ask yourself which aspects of my life are truly aligned with my authentic self. What can I let go of in order to live with greater authenticity? What is holding me back from embracing the person I was always meant to be? Remember, every small step matters. Every single choice you make in favor of your true self is a victory. And most importantly, you are not alone on this journey. This space, this community, this channel exists to remind you of your infinite potential and to guide you along your path of self-discovery. If this message has resonated with you, don't let it stop here. Extend its impact beyond yourself. Share this video with someone who might need it, someone who is searching for answers, someone who is facing their own challenges, someone who might need this exact moment of clarity. Every interaction matters. Every comment, every like, every share helps this message reach more people who, just like you, are searching for a deeper connection with their true selves. Imagine the impact we can create together, a community of individuals committed to living from a place of authenticity, courage, and self-acceptance. Now, I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments what part of this message spoke to your heart, what steps you are willing to take today to choose yourself, to honor your true essence. Every word you share matters, not just to me, but to everyone who is on this same journey, seeking their own truth, their own clarity. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you never miss another message like this. Together, we can bring this reflection to every corner, to every person who needs to be reminded that the greatest power of all lies in the simple yet profound act of choosing to be who you truly are. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. But above all, thank you for being part of this movement, this awakening, this shared journey towards self-discovery. Never forget you are not alone. Change begins with you, and the world desperately needs more people with the courage to embrace their authentic selves. I'll see you in the next video, and always remember, life truly begins the moment you decide to choose yourself.